Best of the West fans, this is J.R. Kratos, and you are now tuned in to Best of the West.
Welcome back to Best of the West Ignition. AJ Kirsch at ringside. We are ready for our opening contest. Let's send it to our ring announcer, Davey. Dangerously. Here comes the California Black Sheep Money, Mike Rayne. He is sitting on a shot at the Best of the West Heavyweight Championship whenever he wants. And of course, the reigning Best of the West Heavyweight Champion is Funny Bone, only the second Best of the West Heavyweight Champion in history. He took that title from Wise Guy, who you better believe wants it back. Mike Rayne, officially #1 contender after defeating Johnny Butabi in a best-of-5 series, and it looks like something is on the mind of the California Black Sheep. Let's find out. That is the big question.
Well, you see, I could jump the gun like every wrestler in history who's gotten a title shot, but I'm a little bit smarter than that. You see, I know that Wise Guy and Funny Bone have unfinished business. And hopefully, after tonight, they will be done and over with, and Funny Bone could focus on the only threat to his title he needs to worry about, and that's the California Black Sheep, Mike Rayne.
Mike Rayne says he's the only threat that...
So that being said, time is running out, Funny Bone, and anytime I want, anywhere, I will become the Best of the West Heavyweight Champion.
Quite the claim by Mike Rayne.
If there's anyone in the back who claims that they have a better deserving shot at Funny Bone over me, then come out here and prove me wrong and show why you should be the #1 contender.
Mike Rayne claiming that he's the only threat the reigning champion Funny Bone needs to be worried about. Funny Bone needs to be worried about Wise Guy coming back for that championship, but nonetheless, Mike Rayne lays out an open challenge. He's hungry for competition. He's got his title shot. He can use it whenever he wants. Oh my God, I think I recognize that music. Yeah, it's Jeckles. It's Jeckles the Jester.
Weighing at 215 pounds, Jeckles the Jester.
Jeckles the Jester. We knew he was going to be here tonight. We had no idea who his opponent was, and he's not wasting any time before coming out to play. Jeckles the Jester answers Money Mike Rayne's open challenge, and you see it on his tights. He is a freak. That is not a title or a label that Jeckles shies away from. He embraces it, and yeah, you can see why. He's absolutely freaky, creepy. I don't like it. I'm uncomfortable just being out here. And Jeckles, you can see he's just swimming in his own madness. Rocking back and forth. I don't know if this is to his entrance music or to the music that's playing in his head? I have no idea, but nonetheless, I'll have what he's having. He looks like he's having a great time. And just back and forth, just absolutely disturbing, alarming, unsettling, unnerving. And Mike Rayne, this was not what he had in mind when he issued an open challenge. I don't think he was expecting, well, he definitely wasn't expecting Jeckles the Jester, but Jeckles almost matches Mike Rayne in size, strength, speed. These are two very evenly matched competitors. As Steven Landis, look at him, even apprehensive to check the free. Good Lord, look at that face. You know what? Don't look at the face. Don't look at it. Well, we are underway at Best of the West Ignition. Thank you for joining us. Be sure to like us on Facebook, follow on Twitter and Instagram. Both of those are at BOTW Wrestling. As Jeckles kicks it off against Muddy Mike Rayne. Finds himself in a hammerlock, quickly reverses it to an elbow to the side of the head. A wrist lock now from Mike Rayne. Jeckles rolls through. Drop toe hold takes down the #1 contender for the Best of the West Heavyweight Championship. Well, that's assuming Funny Bone can make it past Wise Guy later on, but that is, you know what happens when you assume. I mean, we could have a new Best of the West Heavyweight Champion before Mike Rayne even gets a shot at Funny Bone. Huge shoulder tackle from Jeckles the Jester. And Mike Rayne looks like there are no timeouts in wrestling. I don't know if you think that's a rule. That is not a rule. Jeckles, look at him, tongue hanging out. Mike Rayne taking a powder. Taking a moment to collect his thoughts, and I don't blame him, not one bit. If I were Mike Rayne, I would want to take a moment to collect my thoughts as well. I don't know what I would think if I were looking across the ring at Jeckles the Jester. Known all over California for being one of the toughest to ever step foot in the ring. He has taken some brutal beatings, and he has dished out some equally brutal beatings. Mike Rayne calling for a test of strength. Oh, and a boot right to the midsection. That did not take long for Mike Rayne to resort to some questionable tactics to get the upper hand in this match. Mike Rayne off the ropes. Jeckles follows him in. Ducks a clothesline. Jeckles follows him in again. Mike Rayne ducks a clothesline. Catches a big boot right to the face. And now Jeckles using Mike Rayne like he was a dummy. God, look at that face. Good Lord. Belly to back suplex connecting. Dumps Mike Rayne right on the back of his head. Elbow drop right to the sternum. There's a second one. And a third. And look at the pain on Mike Rayne's face. 1, 2, and only 2, says referee Steven Landis. Jeckles now going up to the top. He is going high risk early on in this matchup. What's he going for? Moonsault, but misses. Nobody home. Huge belly flop. And now Mike Rayne going for the top. Looking to capitalize on that missed moonsault. Jeckles back to his opponent, doesn't see him. And Mike Rayne, leg drop off the top onto his standing opponent. Jeckles is not moving. Mike Rayne wisely goes for the cover, hooks the far leg. There's 2 and only 2, a short 2 count. After that leg drop off the top, Mike Rayne got all of it, but I think a little too early in this matchup to put Jeckles down for more than a short 2 count. Mike Rayne in the ring with Jeckles the Jester, but you know he's thinking about Funny Bone. He wants to be the Best of the West Heavyweight Champion.
I hate clowns.
Backs Jeckles into the ropes and a huge chop to the chest. And a forearm to boot. Snapmare. Jeckles in the middle of the ring. Mike Rayne out of the corner. Well-placed drop kick right between the eyes. Into the cover. Lateral press. There's 1, 2, and no, only 2. Jeckles gets the left shoulder up. Mike Rayne now hooks him up. There's the pump handler. Might be setting him up for that devastating pile driver. Jeckles goes underneath. Huge clothesline connecting. And another one. Jeckles in control. Off the ropes goes Mike Rayne. Jeckles underneath. A huge forearm. Beautiful neck breaker. Not going for the cover. Follows it up with the senton. Now going for the cover. Hooks the far leg. There's 2 and only 2. Jeckles pleading that it was 3. Indeed, it was only 2. Mike Rayne with his finger in the air like it was 1. That was definitely more than a 1 count. And Mike Rayne, oh, thumb to the eye. Now Mike Rayne goes underneath. Boot buried right into the cheek of Jeckles the Jester. Shakes it off, throws a clothesline. Catches a drop kick. I don't think Mike Rayne got as much of that as he would have liked. Spinning heel kick catches Jeckles underneath the jaw. A couple forearms, make it 3 right to the face. And Jeckles answers with a knockout forearm of his own. 1, 2, and no, only 2. Mike Rayne gets the left shoulder up at the last second, but Jeckles caught him out of nowhere with that huge forearm. But Jeckles is motionless in the ring. Mike Rayne might be the first competitor up to his feet. Look at him, he's looking at Jeckles like he's down for the count. What happened to Jeckles? Jeckles hit that huge forearm and oh my God. Look at that, again, every time I say look at that face, don't look at that face. It's freaking creepy. And those kicks, they're not doing a damn thing but making Jeckles angry. Answers with a big boot right to Mike Rayne's face off the ropes. Hits a second one right on the chin. Watch out, referee. And a third one. Discus elbow. Roaring elbow connecting. 1, 2, and Mike Rayne drapes his foot on the bottom rope. Jeckles did not have it all the way hooked. And the ring awareness of Mike Rayne may have just saved this match. Mike Rayne unable to expend the energy to kick out after that roaring elbow. Draped his foot on the bottom rope, and that was enough to break the referee's count. Oh, God. But huge chop to the chest of Mike Rayne. Trying to create some separation from Jeckles. It's not working. God. I am so glad I am not Mike Rayne right now. So very glad. Jeckles now sets him up for one more chop, perhaps. Oh, no! Mike Rayne got out of the way at the last second. Jeckles, he chopped the steel ring post, and I don't care how tough, how crazy you are. When it's flesh and bone against ring post, the ring post wins every time. Jeckles may have broken his hand. And Mike Rayne, seizing the opportunity, proceeds to put the beat down on Jeckles the Jester. Mike Rayne in control of the self-proclaimed freak. Not the opponent Mike was hoping for. I'm sure he was hoping for some young rookie, some upstart looking to bite off more than they can chew and make it an easy night for Mike Rayne. Not the case. He's in there with Jeckles the Jester, but a super kick puts the Jester down. Mike Rayne, springboard, frog splash off the second rope. There's 1, 2, and no! Jeckles gets the right shoulder up at the last second. Mike Rayne now thinking about another one perhaps. Well, hesitated for a moment. Nobody home. That hesitation cost him. Going for a leg drop that time. Huge big boot from Jeckles the Jester connecting. He's going for the joke slam. If he hits it, and he does, this one's over. It's academic. 1, 2, and what? Mike Rayne gets the shoulder up. Jeckles can't believe it. I can't believe it. And Jeckles already thinking about what's next. Calling for another roaring elbow. Mike Rayne ducks. Schoolboy cowboy roll-up. 1. Wait, he's got the tights. Mike Rayne has the tights. That's 3. Mike Rayne had a handful of tights. Referee Steven Landis didn't see it. All he saw were the shoulders on the mat. And Mike Rayne, by hook or by crook, is your winner. Jeckles pleading with the referee. Referee saying it was 1, 2, 3, fair and square. Jeckles knows what's going on. He felt the hand on the tights. Mike Rayne damn sure knew what he was doing. He didn't care how he got the victory. He just wanted that win. He wanted some momentum as he picks his spot to cash in his championship.
Days are going by fast, Funny Bone. Be ready.
Says Funny Bone, be ready. I guarantee you, Funny Bone will be ready. Mike Rayne, so proud of himself after stealing the victory out from underneath Jeckles the Jester, who was 1 count away on several occasions from ruining Money Mike Rayne's night. Jeckles, a hell of an effort. A little bit short tonight as we kick off Best of the West Ignition. We'll be right back.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Referee Wiggles, and you're watching Best of the West Ignition.
We are back at Best of the West Ignition. We're ready for our next contest. Tag team action coming your way. Let's send it to our ring announcer, Davey, dangerously. Of course, representing the ring crew, and Nuck Johnson looking fly as ever.
The best Levi Shapiro. Best of the West is here, ready to get too old school.
Classic Connection, making their Best of the West debut. Ace Buddy Royal on the right and the unorthodox Levi Shapiro on your left. First time seeing this team at Best of the West, but I am quite familiar with these two. These two have made a hell of a name for themselves up and down the West Coast. They just got back from a trip to the East Coast. When they talk about the Loop, that is no gimmick. They are the personification of old school. They're bringing old school to Best of the West, and Levi Shapiro hands the mic to Buddy Royal, who's got something to say. Well, another open challenge on Best of the West Ignition, the Classic Connection, not wasting any time, making their intentions Tag Team Championship gold known. And look who answered the challenge. The Midnight Marvels answering the open challenge from the Classic Connection, and this is going to be an intriguing matchup because the Midnight Marvels still very young in their careers. I think their best days are ahead of them. Meanwhile, the Classic Connection have been teaming for years. One of the most well-traveled tag teams here at Best of the West, or anywhere for that matter. They've teamed far longer than the Midnight Marvels have. They've wrestled longer. Well, win, lose, or draw, the Midnight Marvels are guaranteed to learn a thing or two from the Classic Connection, but the Classic Connection better not underestimate the Midnight Marvels. The Midnight Marvels have shown some of the most heart and determination I've seen from any competitor here at Best of the West, going toe-to-toe with the best tag teams on the West Coast. Buddy Royal picks the leg, goes to a waist lock. And Spider Warrior looking to break the grip. He does, goes behind with a waist lock of his own. Takes down Ace Buddy Royal as these two begin to chain wrestle to kick off this tag team contest at Best of the West Ignition. Spider Warrior takes him off the ropes. He hangs on. Ladies and gentlemen, this match continues. We'll be right back.
Let me talk to you. Right now you're watching Best of the West Wrestling, and it's Eli Drake. Don't be a dummy. Keep it right here. That's not an insult. That is just a fact of life. Yeah.
Welcome back to Best of the West Ignition. This tag team match continues. The Midnight Marvels answering the open challenge from the debuting Classic Connection. The first time we're seeing the Classic Connection here at Best of the West, taking on the Midnight Marvels, mainstays here at Best of the West, but as I mentioned before the break, very young in their career. Double hip toss and a beauty. Ace Buddy Royal got some air and then eats a forearm and a senton. Beautiful teamwork from the Midnight Marvels. 1, 2, and only 2, says referee Nuck Johnson. Right back to the side headlock is Damian Drake. Referee admonishing Buddy Royal for grabbing the hair, and here comes Spider Warrior ascending to the top rope. Double axe handle right to the kidneys, and Buddy Royal trying to create some separation, even if just for a moment. There's a back elbow right to the face. Single leg drop kick, beautiful agility from Damian Drake. Spider Warrior into the cover. 1, 2, and only 2. And there's a double thrust to the throat, stops Spider Warrior in his tracks, able to tag in the unorthodox Levi Shapiro. Misses with the discus, double axe handle. Drop toe hold didn't go, but the Bulldog from behind did. Cover 1, and only a 1 count. Spider Warrior tags in Damian Drake. Midnight Marvels, one of the most spectacular teams here at Best of the West. They are not afraid to fly. They are, after all, superheroes. There's a tag to Ace Buddy Royal, as signaled by referee Nuck Johnson. Both are sent to the outside after stereo drop kicks from the Midnight Marvels, who are now in pursuit of the Classic Connection.
Come on, Levi!
This one's spilling to the outside. Nuck is going to have a hard time keeping control of this one. Face first into the apron goes Damian Drake. Levi Shapiro tossed back into the ring. Damian Drake in pursuit. Levi Shapiro. Oh, and Ace Buddy Royal lying in wait, catching Damian Drake by surprise. Didn't see him coming. And just like that, the Classic Connection is in control. Off the ropes goes Levi Shapiro, diving headbutt right to the sternum. 1, 2, and a short 2 count as Damian Drake able to get the shoulder up. Forearm right to the back. There's a tag to Ace Buddy Royal. These two familiar to the crowds at All Pro Wrestling, East Bay Pro Wrestling, all up and down the West Coast. Championship Wrestling from Hollywood. There's a well-placed shot right to the kidneys from Levi Shapiro. Into the cover. 1, 2, and only 2. There's a scoop and a slam with ease. Clearly the Classic Connection, the bigger, stronger of these two tag teams. What is this going to be? Off the ropes. Oh! Beautiful interlocking elbow drop. There's 2, and wisely broken up by Spider Warrior, recognizing that his partner was in some serious trouble and able to break up the pinfall. Otherwise, this one may have been over. There's a lateral press. There's 2, and right shoulder up. I think it's going to take more than just a lateral press to put either Spider Warrior or Damian Drake down for a 3 count. 2 of the most resilient that Best of the West has ever seen. Ace Buddy Royal now cinching up. Wait a minute, inside cradle, 1, 2, and God, Damian Drake almost stole one, but on the receiving end of a brutal clothesline from Buddy Royal, who now wisely drags him over to his corner. There's 2 and only 2. There's a tag to the unorthodox Levi Shapiro. Elbow right to the sternum. Damian Drake needs to be thinking about making a tag, and soon. If this type of onslaught continues much longer, there's going to be nothing left of Damian Drake. There's 2, and again only 2. And perhaps frustration starting to sink in on Levi Shapiro, who rather than following up with another cover or a hold, just goes right to a choke, and now an abdominal claw, I believe. It's been a long time since I've seen the abdominal claw. That's why they are 21st century old school. They bust out the moves that you haven't seen in years and years. Quite sound strategy, actually. Busting out those moves that they are absolutely positive their opponents have no idea how to prepare for. Here's a tag to Buddy Royal. Damian Drake finds himself in the wrong part of town right now. Completely opposite his corner. There's a backdrop, and Levi Shapiro, his face hits the apron, and there's a tag to Spider Warrior. Ducks a clothesline. Huge clothesline of his own. Back elbow, and down goes Buddy Royal. And a boot right to the face, and Royal cross-eyed for just a moment. Levi Shapiro catches a kick to the back of the head. He's loopy. Spider Warrior now leapfrogs. Oh, and Levi Shapiro shoulder blocks his own tag team partner. Front face lock, what is this? Oh! Using his own tag team partner. 1, 2, and no, only 2. Very innovative offense by Spider Warrior, forcing Levi Shapiro and Buddy Royal to work against each other. And what is that? Is that some kind of powder? Levi Shapiro has some kind of powder in his hand. There's an atomic drop on Damian Drake. I don't know. I lost track of who the legal man is. Hopefully Nuck knows. Double drop kick from Damian Drake, and then a beautiful nip-up. He's calling for what looks like a super kick. Oh, they're going for the clock strikes midnight. Levi Shapiro hanging onto his leg, and there's powder in the eyes. Levi throws the powder in the eyes of Damian Drake, who just super kicked his own partner. I don't think he knew who he was super kicking. Damian Drake was willing to super kick anything that moved, and he caught his own partner. There's the backbreaker, fist drop off the top. 1, 2, and 3, the classic connection victorious. Levi Shapiro throws powder in the eyes of Damian Drake, who is setting up the super kick. Damian Drake, completely blinded, inadvertently super kicks his own partner. Classic connection hits that backbreaker fist drop combination, and that's enough for them to score the victory in their debut here at Best of the West. I don't think they could have asked for their debut to go any better. And when you start thinking about #1 contenders for the Tag Team Championship, you can't have that conversation without talking about the classic connection. Midnight Marvels left in the ring to pick up the pieces. You can see Damian Drake still shaking out the powder out of his eyes. Apologetic to his tag team partner. I mean, nothing he could do about it. He thought when Spider Warrior pulls himself up with that grappling hook that only he can see, of course. Midnight Marvels, tough break for this young team, but they will be back. This is not the last you've seen of the Midnight Marvels. A little miscommunication is not going to keep them from fighting the good fight. Classic Connection. Victorious. Their Best of the West debut. The Midnight Marvels.
We'll get them next time.
Picking up the pieces. They will be back. And so will we, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining us. AJ Kirsch at ringside saying good night, everybody, from Best of the West.